Prince Harry's long-running battle against the British press has taken another dramatic turn, and this time the outcome has shocked many of his supporters. After years of legal arguments, emotional testimony, and countless headlines, Prince Harry, music icon Elton John, filmmaker David Furnish, actress Elizabeth Hurley, actress Sadie Frost, Baroness Doreen Lawrence, former MP Simon Hughes, and several other high-profile figures have officially lost their privacy lawsuit against Associated Newspapers Limited, the publisher behind the Daily Mail, Mail on Sunday, and Mail Online. The ruling marks one of the biggest courtroom defeats in Harry's campaign against the British media, and it has already sparked fierce reactions across the UK and around the world. This wasn't just another celebrity lawsuit. It was one of the most closely watched legal battles involving the British press in recent years. The claimants argued that journalists working for the publisher had used unlawful methods to gather private information over many years. According to their claims, those methods included phone hacking, hiring private investigators, illegally accessing confidential records, bugging homes and cars, intercepting voicemail messages, and using deception to obtain sensitive personal information. The allegations covered stories published over many years and raised serious questions about how some of Britain's biggest tabloids operated. After an extensive trial lasting several weeks, the High Court carefully examined thousands of pages of evidence. Witnesses were questioned, documents were reviewed, and lawyers on both sides presented detailed arguments. But in the end, the judge ruled that the claimants had failed to prove their allegations. While the court accepted that some articles contained private information, it concluded that there was not enough evidence to prove those stories had been obtained through illegal means. The judge explained that suspicion alone was not enough, and that the law required convincing proof. For Prince Harry, this decision is especially significant because his legal fight against the British tabloids has become one of the defining issues of his public life. Ever since stepping back from royal duties with Meghan Markle, Harry has repeatedly spoken about the harm he believes the media has caused his family. He has often connected relentless press attention to the tragic death of his mother, Princess Diana, and has said he is determined to prevent similar treatment of his wife and children. Throughout the trial, Harry shared emotional testimony about the impact of media coverage on Meghan Markle. He described years of intense headlines, public scrutiny, and what he believed was unfair treatment. According to Harry, the constant attention created enormous stress for his family. He argued that the press had crossed ethical boundaries and that holding newspapers accountable was not just about himself, but about changing the culture surrounding celebrity reporting. The lawsuit also attracted enormous attention because of the famous names involved. Elton John, one of the world's most successful musicians, joined the case alongside his husband, David Furnish. Actress Elizabeth Hurley, known for both her acting career and years in the public eye, was another claimant. Sadie Frost also joined the legal action, while Baroness Doreen Lawrence and former politician Simon Hughes argued that they too had been victims of unlawful information gathering. Together, the group presented one of the largest celebrity privacy cases Britain has seen in years. Despite the high-profile nature of the lawsuit, the judge stressed that every allegation had to be supported by clear evidence. The court could not simply assume wrongdoing because newspapers had published private details. Instead, each article and each allegation had to be examined individually. According to the ruling, there were lawful explanations for how much of the information could have been obtained, and the evidence presented did not prove illegal conduct on the balance of probabilities. One of the issues that became highly controversial during the trial involved evidence connected to former private investigator Gavin Burrows. His role became a major talking point because some of the evidence initially appeared to support the claimant's allegations. However, during the proceedings, significant questions emerged about the reliability of parts of that evidence. The judge ultimately concluded that it was not sufficient to establish widespread unlawful conduct alleged by the claimants. The verdict immediately became front-page news across Britain. Supporters of Prince Harry described the ruling as deeply disappointing, while others argued that it demonstrated the importance of meeting strict legal standards. Many legal experts noted that courtroom decisions must be based on evidence rather than public opinion, no matter how famous the people involved may be. Prince Harry did not remain silent after the judgment. Together with Baroness Doreen Lawrence, they released a strongly worded statement criticizing the outcome. They described the decision as a complete and obvious whitewash, making it clear that they fundamentally disagreed with the court's conclusions. Harry insisted that he still believed serious wrongdoing had taken place and argued that powerful media organizations should continue to be held accountable for their actions. That statement quickly spread across social media, where reactions became sharply divided. Some users praised Harry for refusing to back down, saying his campaign had already exposed unethical practices within parts of the media industry. Others argued that repeated legal defeats suggested the evidence simply was not strong enough. The debate soon expanded beyond the courtroom, with many discussing the balance between press freedom and personal privacy. Associated national newspapers celebrated the ruling as a complete victory. The company said the judgment vindicated its journalists and confirmed that the stories challenged during the trial had been lawfully sourced. It argued that responsible journalism had been unfairly questioned and that the court's decision demonstrated the strength of its defense. Another major issue now facing the claimants is the enormous legal cost. Reports suggest the overall legal bill could exceed £50 million, making this one of the most expensive media lawsuits in British history. While future hearings will determine exactly how those costs are divided, the financial consequences could be substantial for those involved. For Prince Harry, this defeat stands in sharp contrast to some of his earlier courtroom successes. In previous cases against other newspaper publishers, he secured important victories involving unlawful phone hacking and historical wrongdoing. Those wins strengthened his campaign against sections of the British media and encouraged further legal action. This latest defeat, however, shows that every case depends on its own evidence and cannot rely on earlier judgments involving different publishers. Many observers believe Harry's campaign has already changed the conversation around celebrity privacy. Years ago, allegations of phone hacking shocked Britain and led to criminal investigations, public inquiries, and the closure of one of the country's biggest newspapers. Harry has consistently argued that the culture surrounding parts of the media still requires greater accountability. Critics, however, believe there is also an important principle at stake. They argue that newspapers play a vital role in reporting matters of public interest, and that accusations of unlawful journalism should only succeed when supported by compelling evidence. From that perspective, the High Court's decision reinforces the importance of due process and the legal burden of proof. The ruling also highlights the complex relationship between celebrities and the media. Public figures often depend on media attention to promote their work, charities, and public appearances. At the same time, many struggle with intrusive coverage that extends into their private lives. Finding the right balance between those competing interests remains one of the biggest challenges facing modern journalism. Prince Harry has repeatedly said that his legal battles are not simply about money. According to him, the cases are about accountability and protecting future generations from what he believes are harmful media practices. Whether people agree with his approach or not, few would deny that he has become one of the most determined public figures challenging Britain's tabloid culture. The emotional connection to Princess Diana has always remained central to Harry's arguments. He has spoken many times about the role relentless media attention played during her mother's lifetime and how deeply those experiences affected him as a child. For Harry, the issue goes far beyond newspaper headlines. It is tied to painful personal memories that continue to shape his public life.
Since moving to California with Meghan Markle, Harry has pursued a different life away from official royal duties. Even so, legal battles in Britain have continued to dominate headlines surrounding the Duke of Sussex. Whether discussing security arrangements, press coverage, or privacy rights, Harry has remained closely connected to the British legal system despite living overseas. The outcome of this lawsuit does not necessarily mark the end of Harry's legal campaign. He's shown repeatedly that he's willing to pursue lengthy court battles when he believes important principles are involved. While this defeat represents a major setback, many believe he will continue speaking publicly about media accountability. Meanwhile, public opinion remains deeply divided. Some people admire Harry for standing up against powerful institutions, regardless of the personal cost. Others believe he has become too focused on litigation and should move forward rather than continuing years of courtroom battles. As with many issues involving the royal family, opinions are often influenced by broader views about the monarchy, celebrity culture, and the press. For Elton John and the other claimants, the judgment is equally disappointing. Each joined the lawsuit believing they had experienced unlawful invasions of privacy. Although the court ultimately rejected their claims, their participation highlighted how concerns over media intrusion extend far beyond the royal family. The case will almost certainly be studied by lawyers, journalists, and media organizations for years to come. It raises important questions about evidence, investigative journalism, privacy rights, and the responsibilities of newspapers reporting on public figures. Even though the legal battle has ended, the broader debate surrounding those issues is unlikely to disappear anytime soon. As headlines continue to circulate around the world, one thing is clear: Prince Harry's relationship with the British media remains as complicated as ever. This latest defeat may slow his campaign, but judging by his own words and past actions, it is unlikely to silence him completely. Whether future legal battles await remains uncertain, but this ruling has already secured its place as one of the most significant celebrity court decisions of recent years. And that's the latest on this major celebrity legal showdown. The story continues to spark debate over privacy, journalism, and accountability, and we'll be following every new development as it happens. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.